Hi folks, Chuck here again with five more horror movies that I absolutely love that I don't see mentioned much online at all, and that I hope more people will be interested in going out and finding and watching based upon this video. Last Shift. This is creepy as hell. It's fairly basic. It's about a rookie cop who is tasked with doing the final shift at a police station that's being closed down, and she starts to hear weird things and see things, and it all starts to escalate in all kinds of horrible supernatural occult ways. Plenty of jump scares, plenty of growing tension, lots of fairly familiar horror beats, but it's really, really effective. And provides some really, really good scares, and I would definitely recommend it as a watch. Maybe on something like Tubi, or wherever you can sort of download it from, or view it on streaming or something like that. But still, yeah, quite a tight little horror movie. The Ritual, based upon one of my favourite novels by the horror writer Adam Neville, novel of the same name. It's about four friends who, after the brutal death of one of their friends, their mutual friends, decide to go on a hiking trip through the Swedish kind of mountains, forests, what have you. And after a while, they start to realize that something is not just following them, but actively hunting them. Very creepy, lots of growing tension. It is a creature feature. You don't get to see the creature much, which works very, very well for this movie. And what you do see is often in darkness, and it's a bizarre bit of monster making. Well worth the price of admission. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Great acting, great characters. Really, really terrifying in places. And yeah, I think it's a really, really good adaptation of the book. If you do watch this and you enjoy it, I would urge you, though, to go and read the book, because the book, as often happens with film adaptations, has so much more, including a number of subplots that were excised for reason of time and what have you. But yeah, highly recommend this one. Dead Sound, which I think is also called the Block Island Sound. This is a really weird one that delves into sort of cosmic horror. And it's about some people on an island, on Block Island, who start to suffer from hearing a weird sound that seems to pervade their everyday lives and their minds and their bodies and what have you, and have weird, weird effects. You tend not to know where it's going throughout this, but it doesn't matter, because there's just this growing feeling of dread that does not give up for a moment until you sort of get to the end and go, oh, okay. Even though there's not a definitive answer to what's going on, it's made, there's a few fairly clear hints. It's really, really bleak. Dead Sound, otherwise known, I think, as the Block Island Sound. This one's a long-time favourite of mine, Dead Birds. It's a horror western, and it's excellent. Not very big budget, but what budget they have is used really, really well. It's about a bunch of Confederate soldiers towards the end of the Civil War who are on the lam. They've turned to being bank robbers to make money. They rob a bank. A lot of people are killed. These are not nice people. And they then flee and come across what appears to be an abandoned farmhouse in the middle of some fields. And they decide to, bed down there for the night. Very bad decision. There are things going on there. There's, hauntings, and there's a sort of a touch of cosmic horror. There's some time slip sort of stuff going on there as well. If I tell you any more, it sort of gives away a lot of it. But it's a really neat, scary, atmospheric horror movie, and I love it. I rewatch it every couple of years and enjoy it just as much every time I do. And finally, another movie adapted from a favourite novel of mine, Pontypool, which is based on the Tony Burgess novel Pontypool Changes Everything, which I think is one of the best zombie novels ever written. This one involves a radio DJ, not quite a shock jock, but along those lines, in a small sort of country, small township that's been sort of beset by bad weather. And most of the action takes place inside the the radio studio with, reports and phone calls and things coming from outside the studio. And as the movie progresses, the DJ and his staff begin to realize that something is going on out there. There's an illness, and then it's the reports start to sort of suggest that it's something akin to a zombie virus, and then they realize that the zombie virus is being spread not by touch, not by bacteria, not by necessarily viruses, but by language. There is something, there is an effect that gets into people and rewires them so that as they speak and their words become corrupted in many ways, they are actually transmitting the disease, whatever you want to call it, to other people. And it's really, really well done. There's an internal consistency to the idea of language being able to provide a carrier for disease. There are workarounds for it that the characters managed to come up with. Having said that, it's really brutal. It's really bleak. It's very frightening, and a lot of the fear comes from them not having eyes on the situation, but getting snippets from these reports, and inevitably, of course, the effect does start to affect people inside the station. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. If you have read the book and you haven't seen the movie, it's not quite like the book. It plays a bit like a Meanwhile on the Other Side of Town from the book. And I have done a video recently, which I don't think is posted yet, about my love for the book and a bit of a description of that. But it's definitely possible to read the book and to watch the movie and get totally different experiences from them. And I think they're both excellent. Certainly the movie crops up very, very regularly on top 10 lists, not just of zombie films, but of horror films in general, and deservedly so. So that's your lot this time around. Have you seen any of these? Have you not seen any of these? Do any of these sound interesting to you? Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, if you have seen them particularly, or if you're considering going out and tracking them down. A lot of them are available on streaming. A lot of them aren't. Particularly, some of the smaller budget films that can be a bit hard to get. Yeah, let me know what you think when you do. I really do feel these are films that more people need to know about, and particularly, if you're a horror fan. So go out, enjoy, let me know about your experience with them.